It's 10:30 p.m. Your child should be asleep, but instead, their heart is pounding, their stomach is in knots, and they can't stop overthinking tomorrow. They're anxious. And here's the shocking truth. Anxiety disorders in kids have skyrocketed by over 17% in the last decade, according to the CDC. But what if I told you that some of the anxiety your child experiences may actually be caused by well-meaning parenting mistakes? We tell them, it's not a big deal, you'll be fine, or don't worry so much. But what if these words, instead of calming them, are actually making things worse? Stick with me, because today we're uncovering some of the most common parenting mistakes that increase childhood anxiety, and more importantly, how to fix them. Mistake number 1, overprotective parenting. Let's start with a big one, overprotective parenting, also known as helicopter parenting. You've probably heard the term before, but did you know that children with overprotective parents are at a higher risk of developing anxiety disorders? A 2020 study from the American Psychological Association found that kids who are shielded from challenges tend to become more anxious, not less. Here's how this plays out. A child is nervous about speaking to the cashier at a store. Instead of letting them try, the parent jumps in and speaks for them. A child struggles to tie their shoes, and instead of letting them figure it out, the parent does it for them. Each time this happens, the child learns one thing: I can't handle this on my own. The result? When they grow up, they second-guess themselves, avoid challenges, and feel anxious about making decisions. So what's the fix? Gradual exposure. Instead of immediately stepping in, let them struggle just a little, enough to push them, but not break them. How to fix it? Allow small challenges. Let kids solve age-appropriate problems on their own. Encourage, but don't rescue. If they ask for help too soon, say, I believe in you. Try one more time. Teach problem-solving instead of fixing everything for them. Mistake number 2, dismissing their emotions. Did you know that children who feel their emotions are constantly dismissed are more likely to develop chronic anxiety and depression later in life? According to Harvard's Center on the Developing Child, kids who are regularly told, don't be so sensitive or you're overreacting, learn to suppress their feelings instead of processing them. Over time, this can lead to bottled-up stress, social anxiety, and difficulty forming strong relationships. Now imagine this. Your child falls, scrapes their knee, and starts crying. Your instinct? You say, you're fine. Stop crying. Harmless, right? But here's the problem. Kids take this as, my feelings don't matter. Over time, they learn to hide their emotions, leading to bigger emotional struggles later. The way we respond to our child's emotions shapes their ability to handle stress, regulate anxiety, and express themselves confidently. Let's flip the script. Imagine your boss tells you to present at a meeting last minute. You express concern and they say, just get over it. How would that make you feel? Unsupported? Alone? That's exactly how kids feel when we brush off their emotions instead of acknowledging them. Parenting expert, Dr. John Gottman. Children don't need us to fix every problem, but they do need to feel heard. Dismissing emotions doesn't make them disappear. It teaches kids that their feelings don't matter, which can create lifelong anxiety and emotional struggles. Dr. Daniel Siegel, a neuroscientist and author of The Whole Brain Child, explains that the best way to help kids regulate their emotions is through name it to tame it. When we help kids identify their feelings, their brains begin to calm down automatically. 3-step method to help kids with big emotions. Step 1, label the emotion. It sounds like you're feeling nervous. Is that right? Step 2, validate their feelings. That makes sense. It's normal to feel this way in a new situation. Step 3, teach healthy coping strategies. Deep breathing, visualization, or creating an action plan. Kids don't need us to protect them from emotions. They need us to help them understand and process what they feel. When we validate their emotions, we're teaching them how to handle stress, anxiety, and disappointment in a healthy way. And that's a skill they'll carry for life. Have you ever caught yourself dismissing your child's feelings? What's one phrase you can start using today to validate their emotions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Mistake number 3, setting unrealistic expectations. Picture this. Your child comes home beaming because they scored 95% on a test. But instead of celebrating, you ask, why wasn't it 100%? That one moment can plant a deep fear of failure in a child's mind. And guess what? Studies show that perfectionist parents often raise the most anxious children. Perfection is impossible. But what happens when kids feel like it's the only option? Many parents believe setting high expectations motivates kids to do their best. But research shows that unrealistic standards can actually lead to crippling anxiety, self-doubt, and fear of failure. A 2022 study from the American Psychological Association found that children with highly perfectionist parents are 30% more likely to develop clinical anxiety or depression by their teenage years. When kids fear making mistakes, their brains stay in a state of fight or flight, producing stress hormones that make learning, creativity, and problem-solving harder. While high expectations aren't bad, kids need a balance of encouragement, resilience, and self-acceptance, not perfectionism. Ever seen your child freeze up instead of starting their work? Or get so frustrated trying to get everything just right that they break down? This isn't laziness, it's perfectionism, and it often stems from well-meaning but unrealistic expectations at home. Perfectionist parenting sends the message, you must always perform at your best. Mistakes aren't acceptable. If you don't succeed, you've failed. The result? Kids start to fear failure so much that they procrastinate, avoid challenges, or feel deeply ashamed when they fall short. How to set healthy expectations without creating anxiety. 1. Celebrate effort, not just results. Instead of praising just grades, focus on the process, hard work, and progress. Say, I love how hard you worked on this. Instead of, you're so smart, praising effort builds resilience. 2. Normalize mistakes as part of learning. Teach kids that mistakes are stepping stones to success, not failures. Example, instead of, you should have known better, say, mistakes help us improve. What can we learn from this? 3. Model self-compassion. If you make a mistake, talk about it openly. Example, oops, I made a mistake at work today. It was frustrating, but I learned from it. 4. Help kids set their own goals. Instead of deciding for them, ask what they want to improve and support them. Example, what's one thing you'd like to get better at? Let's make a plan together. Children who believe they must be perfect will struggle with self-worth, confidence, and anxiety. But kids who learn that effort matters more than perfection will grow into resilient, confident adults. Have you ever caught yourself setting unrealistic expectations for your child? How do you encourage progress over perfection? Let's discuss in the comments. Mistake number 4, modeling anxiety. Here's a fact that might shock you. Children of anxious parents are up to 7 times more likely to develop anxiety disorders. Why? Because kids learn emotional responses from their parents. Kids don't just listen to what we say, they watch what we do. And if we're constantly stressed, worried, or anxious, they pick up on that energy, even if we don't mean for them to. The mirror neuron system in the brain means children naturally imitate the behaviors and emotions they see in adults. When they see a parent reacting with stress, fear, or avoidance, their brain learns to respond the same way. What just happened here? The child wasn't afraid at first, but when they saw their parent's fear, they learned, maybe this is dangerous. This is how parental anxiety transfers, through the subtle ways we react to challenges, stress, and uncertainty. Anxious parenting sends the message, the world is scary. You can't handle things on your own. Something bad might happen. The result? Kids start overthinking, avoiding risks, and feeling overwhelmed by stress. Studies show that anxious parenting leads to more avoidance behaviors. Kids hesitate to try new things. Higher levels of stress hormones. Their bodies stay in fight or flight mode. Poor emotional regulation. They struggle to handle frustration or disappointment. Greater social anxiety. They avoid talking to new people or speaking in groups. The problem isn't having stress, it's how we model handling it. How to model calm confidence, even if you feel stressed. 1. Verbalize positive self-talk. Instead of, I'm terrible at this, say, this is tricky, but I can figure it out. 2. Normalize challenges instead of avoiding them. Instead of, let's just skip this event. I don't feel like going. Say, I feel a little nervous, but I know I'll have fun once I get there. 3. Teach kids how to handle stress healthily. Practice deep breathing, problem solving, or talking through worries. Example, let's take a deep breath together and think about how we can solve this. 4. Show confidence in uncertain situations. Instead of, oh no, what if we get lost? Say, let's figure this out together. Children don't just listen to what we say. They absorb how we respond to stress, uncertainty, and challenges. The best way to help kids manage their anxiety is to model healthy coping strategies ourselves. Have you ever noticed your child mirroring your stress or worries? What's one way you can model confidence and resilience today? Let's talk in the comments. The goal of parenting isn't to remove anxiety completely, it's to teach kids how to manage it. Small changes in the way we respond to their struggles can make a huge difference in their emotional well-being. Quick recap. Give them independence. Let them struggle a little before stepping in. Validate emotions. Teach them how to process feelings instead of shutting them down. Set healthy expectations. Focus on growth, not perfection. Watch what you model. Your child learns emotional responses from you. Which of these mistakes have you caught yourself making? Drop a comment below and let's talk. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more parenting insights every week.